Mason slammed the file shut and said, "You know, Della, I wish people would learn to differentiate between the reputable lawyer who represents persons accused of crime and the criminal lawyer who becomes a silent partner in the profits of crime."
"Just how would you explain the difference?"
she asked. Mason said, "Crime is personal. Evidence of crime is impersonal. I never take a case unless I'm convinced my client was incapable of committing the crime charged. Once I've reached that conclusion, I figure there must be some discrepancy between the evidence and the conclusions the police have drawn from that evidence. I set out to find them." She laughed.
"You sound as though you were more of a detective than a lawyer."
"No," Mason said. "They are two different professions. A detective gathers evidence. He becomes skilled in knowing what to look for, where to find it, and how to get it. A lawyer interprets the evidence after it's been collected. He gradually learns—" He was interrupted by the ringing of the telephone at Della's desk. She answered it, saying,
"Hold the line a moment, please,"
and then, cupping her hand over the mouthpiece, turned to Perry Mason.
"Would you be interested in seeing a Mr. Charles Sabin on a matter of the greatest importance? Mr. Sabin says he's willing to pay any consultation fee."
Mason said, "Depends on what he wants. If he has a murder case, I'll listen to him. If he wants me to draw up a chattel mortgage, the answer is no. There isn't enough money in the mint to tempt me to—" "Wait a minute, Della. What's his name?"
"Sabin,"
she said.
"Charles W. Sabin."
"Where is he?"
"In the outer office,"
Mason said. "Tell him to wait a few minutes." "No, wait a minute. Find out if he's related to Fremont C. Sabin." Della asked the question over the telephone and waited for the girl at the information desk in the outer office to relay the inquiry to the visitor. She turned once more to Mason and said,
"Yes, he's the son of Mr. Fremont C. Sabin."
"Tell him I'll see him," Mason said. "Tell him he'll have to wait about 10 minutes. Go out and meet him, Della. Size him up. Take him into the law library. Let him wait there. Bring me the morning newspapers. This, young lady, in case you don't know it, is a break with a capital B. Okay, get busy. Wait a minute. I have one of the newspapers here." Mason made a dive for the newspaper, sweeping the file of important correspondence over to the far end of the desk as he hurriedly cleared a space in front of him. The account of the murder of Fremont C. Sabin occupied much of the front page. There were photographs on the second and third pages. There was a human interest story about his character and personality. That which was known of the murder was well calculated to stir the imagination. Fremont C. Sabin, eccentric multimillionaire, had virtually retired from the many businesses which bore his name. His son, Charles Sabin, carried on for him. During the past 2 years, the wealthy man had become almost a recluse. At times he would travel in a trailer, stopping in at auto camps, fraternizing with other trailerites, talking politics, exchanging views. None of those with whom he talked had the least inkling that this man, with his shiny business suit, his diffident manner, and his quiet gray eyes, was rated at more than $2 million. Or he would disappear for a week or two at a time, prowling around through bookstores, dropping in at libraries, living in a realm of studious abstraction while he browsed through books. Librarians invariably classified him as a clerk out of work. Of late he had been spending much of his time in a mountain cabin, on the pine-clad slope of a rugged range near a brawling stream. Here he would sit on the porch by the hour with a pair of powerful binoculars in his hand, watching the birds, making friends with the chipmunks and squirrels, reading books, asking only to be left alone. Just touching 60, he represented a strange figure of a man, one who had wrung from life all that it offered in the way of material success, a man who literally had more money than he knew what to do with. Some of this money he had established in trust funds, but for the most part he did not believe in philanthropy, thinking that the ultimate purpose of life was to develop character, that the more a person came to depend on outside assistance, the more his character was weakened. The newspaper published an interview with Charles Sabin, the son of the murdered man, giving an insight into his father's character. Mason read it with interest. Sabin had believed that life was a struggle and had purposely been made a struggle, that competition developed character, that victory was of value only as it marked the goal of achievement, that to help someone else toward victory was doing that person an injustice, since victories were progressive. The elder Sabin had placed something over $1 million in trust funds for charitable uses, but he had stipulated that the money was to go only to those who had been incapacitated in life's battles, the crippled, the aged,